The new Power BI card formatting is one of the biggest updates we've had in years, and it finally lets you build truly modern KPI cards. In this free 4-part mini course, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the new card, starting with the basics and working our way all the way up to advanced design. Let's jump in. This is part 2 of our series, where we'll dive into more features of the card, such as reference labels, layouts, and categories. Now, if you haven't yet, check out part 1 of this series first, which covers the new card basics. So we can see that we have one card. We only have the net profit measure in here. However, we've added some additional context, and we did this through reference labels. So if we go to Format Your Visual, and go to the very bottom, you'll see we have these two sections related to reference labels. We have reference labels layout, and this is where we can decide how we want our reference labels to look. Right now, you can see we have them vertical. We have two reference labels here, and we're stacking them one on top of the other. We can set the horizontal alignment, and we can change this to horizontal if we want. So this placed the two reference labels on one row going horizontally. All right, we'll switch that back to vertical. Now the shape is related to this rounded background shape that you see here that holds the reference labels. And if you want to add a rounded radius, you can see here, I just put 10 pixels for the shape. And you can adjust these per card. So right now we obviously only have one card here, right? We have the net profit card. But you can adjust these depending on what you have in it. If I put a 0, notice how the reference label box is now square. And you can place a background. Right now, I am using this E6, E6, E6 with a transparency of 55%. Okay, now let's open up reference labels and take a look at them. Right now we have our net profit card, and what we've done is dragged in two reference labels, our net profit goal and our net profit percent to goal text symbol. So we have three parts of the reference label that we can format. I'm going to go to select reference label, and we'll look at net profit goal first. Then we can open up title. Now right now I have title on because I want the word goal to appear. Now by default, it's going to show field name. So what I like to do is change this to custom. Then I'll put a custom text here and then adjust the formatting as you can see. After you have done that with the title, you can adjust your value. And because I am selecting the actual label here, we can adjust the display units. And you can even add detail. So let's dive into the percent to goal here, and I'll show you why I did it like this. Net profit percent to goal text symbol. I've already adjusted the title, and I have value on. Now, notice what happens when I turn detail off. That means all I'm dragging in here for my reference label is this check, and it's just a simple conditional formatting character. So if we look at it, you can see here that we're just looking at the net profit percent to goal, and based on the value of it, we're going to replace the value with a symbol. Symbols are great as they add additional visual cues to your context. Now, the detail section is another part of your reference labels where you can add additional information. So now I am adding the net profit percent to goal here. But also this allows you to actually adjust the background color with conditional formatting. So this is where I can drag in that net profit percent to goal and add the logic in here in order to change the color based on the percentage. That's pretty cool that we can do that. We can also do that with the text within. So here you can see I'm making the text darker. So we have that good contrast when it's within that background box. Okay, so now that we have a reference label in here, it's time to look at an additional formatting feature that's really important to understand. Under cards and then layout, you can see here that we have this arrangement option and order option, along with a callout size percentage. Now, as I mentioned before, you need to understand that your callout is your measure plus any images that you added to that callout section. In this case, right, we have our callout label, our value, and we added that image to the callout. So this whole top part is all callout. Let's look at our arrangement. We have a vertical arrangement here. Let's look at the order. We have callout as our first, followed by reference label and then image. Don't mistake this image for what's in your callout. This is referencing a separate section altogether called image that we'll dive into in a little bit. Right now, we don't have an image loaded. So this arrangement in order is only representing our callout and our reference label. So if we look here at the bottom, we can see that we want 55% of this box to be the callout. If I change this to 50, what that did is split this box up in half, going vertically with our callout section being 50%, and then our reference label being 50% of the box. Now, if I make this a little smaller, you can see that works fine, right? For me, I like it a little bigger, 55%. And then we can adjust the height. Now we're looking pretty good. Our reference label is representing 45% of the box, and we're going vertically. If we wanted to switch this to horizontal, let's look at the order. We have callout 55%, reference label will make up the remaining 45%. So now you can see what that would look like. We take this and split it. This would be our 55% to the left. Our reference label would be 45% to the right. In our next example, we've dragged in another measure. So we've dragged in gross sales. So now we have two cards. Now, when we have two cards like this opens up another layer of formatting. So if I go to your format your visual multi-card layout, we now have two cards within our visual. And I've already showed you previously that we can change this to vertical if we'd like. The only difference here is that we've added reference labels. Now, if we look at this, notice how the padding here at the top does not look good. So let's think about this. What do we need to adjust here? Well, the first step would be to go to our reference label layout and look at the padding. Let's add a 10 here. So there we go. Now we see that padding has been adjusted and we're even on all four sides here within our reference label. So this is a horizontal layout, but if we wanted to go to vertical layout, we can go to multi-card and we can stack gross sales on top of our net profit. So up until this point, we've talked about various types of layouts. Multi-card layout. The next layout would be the two cards within and how we want those components to look. Then we have our callout layout. So this is where we can adjust the layout of the callout. And then we have our reference label layout, where we can adjust the reference label within our card. Now we're going to take this even a step further, and we're going to add a category to our cards. So in this example, we only have one card, which is our net profit card, within the card visual. And we've dragged in a dimension field called category, which is just a simple category field within our data set that consists of the category of coffee and tea. And you can see when you drag it in what it does. It splits up that card into two. And a good use case for this could be adding this as a tooltip, for example, like we see right here. So now let's talk about how this affects our layout of our card visual. I have the card selected. We go up to format your visual. Now we have these two additional formatting categories available to us. We have the multi-category layout, and then we have category header. Now, if we look at the multi-category layout and then open up layout, we can see we now have another layout we need to be aware of. How do we want these categories to display? So we've split up the card into two. Right now we have it set to a vertical, so we have two rows. If we want to go to horizontal, we can do that as well. We can also apply a border if we'd like I have right here. And you can also apply a gap in between those categories. I have a 20 pixel gap going horizontally. However, if we switch this to vertical, it would show a vertical gap of 20. Now let's go to the category header section and then open up layout. So this is where we can change where this category header shows. Right now I have it on the left, but if you want to put it to the right, that's what it would look like there. We can go to the top and we can go to the bottom. We'll go back to the left. Now, the way I made it look like this was by adjusting the padding within the category header. I put a 20 pixel all around, and you can increase this I mean, I can go 50 if I want. I don't even know what the limit is, to be honest with you, but you can adjust that to whatever you'd like it to be. Now, the title within, you can adjust the settings of that right within here. So I can switch this to, let's say, coffee, and adjust the font and the alignment of the category header. If I open up background, so again, I'm under coffee right now. So I'm under this specific category, and I opened up background and turned it on. Right now I have an image loaded. So I've loaded this image of the coffee cup. Now, if I turn image effects on, you can see here I lowered the exposure to -50 to give it that really nice looking effect where the title pops and it looks like we have this dark overlay over the image. See what happens when I change that to 0. Can't really see the title as good. So the -50 looks pretty good here. You can even add a blur effect if you'd like. It looks kind of cool as well. Right, so as you can see here, we have a lot of different layout settings. And the trick here, in my opinion, is always starting from the inside and working your way out. So for example, first starting out with your callout layout, which would include the images within your callouts. After callout, if you do have a reference label, you would adjust the layout for your reference labels. Then you work your way to your card layout, and then you adjust the particular order of how you want those cards to look. And then from there, you work your way up to your multi-category layout if you have category added to your card visual, and you can adjust the layout of that from there. All right, so let's keep going here. In this example, now we've added 2 measures, so 2 cards to the card visual, and we've split those 2 cards up into 2 categories. So the only difference here is that before you adjust the formatting for your category layout in your header, just make sure you adjust your multi-card layout right before that. For example, right here we have horizontal, right? We have gross sales and net profit are 2 cards, and we're showing them at a horizontal view. And then vertical, if we want to change it to vertical, now we're showing those 2 cards vertically, but they're split up between the 2 categories. So after that, you wanted to adjust your category layout. Right now we're going vertical, so this whole category is on top. We can change that to horizontal, and now we're going horizontally. If we look at the card visual above, we can see it's the same as the bottom in terms of the way the categories are going, right? They're going horizontal. However, our card layout is going horizontal here. Gross sales and net profit are next to each other, whereas the bottom one, they're going vertically. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification button. If you'd like to dive deeper into Power BI UX UI design, feel free to check out my course links in the channel description. Next, go ahead and check out part 3 of this free 4-part Power BI card mini course. In part 3, we're going to explore the hero image feature and advanced layouts. So you'll have the skills to format your cards however you'd like.